Hello and welcome back to Politalk. Today we have our interview with our centrist guest, Kenneth. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kenneth Potter, and I'm the centrist guest.
All right, perfect. We're going to start off with a little bit of an icebreaker question. Who is your favorite U.S. president from history and why?
That's a hard question. I'm going to give you top five. I'm going to go FDR, even though he interned all those Japanese people, which I don't agree with. Barack Obama, because Medicare. Dwight D. Eisenhower. JFK, duh. Who would be my last pick? This is a good question. I'm not going to go Abe Lincoln, because that's too much of that. I do like John Adams.
Okay.
Controversial pick.
Any reason?
Just because, I understand what it's like to be number two. Because, he's not the first guy. He's the second guy, and he was arguably not as good as the first guy. But it's okay to not be as good as the first guy.
Okay.
You just have to be as good as you can be.
So we already got a little bit of this, but how would you align yourself politically?
It's hard right now because technically most would view me as left-leaning just because of how far right the right is right now. But I do identify myself as center or center-right, but that's by a very slim margin.
All right, yeah. What party do you think you could align yourself better? But you can talk about both.
They would both have to do a lot of things to align me better. I think the Trumpist era of the Republican Party is not what the Republican Party really has stood for the last 40 years. So that one came out of left field for me. Maybe if we got Rand Paul up there. And then with the Democratic Party, they're trying too hard to be lean towards moderate voters, and they're abandoning their party principles, which tells the voter that, hey, I'm a sellout. I'll say whatever you want me to say, so you vote for me and give me more APAC money.
All right. If you were running for office, what policies would you introduce?
I love this question. So first Bill of Order, annex Puerto Rico. Second, annex Mexico. Think about it, no more border issues, and then we get all of the exports that they already export. And I don't think with grand old American intervention that we would have cartel issues anymore. And then everybody gets to be a citizen, and GDP skyrockets.
All right, anything else? Any domestic policy?
Domestic policy, see, again, like what Jay Ponce said, there's not a lot that I could really do to expand upon it, but I do like student loan forgiveness. I like expanding healthcare benefits because every other modern society has healthcare benefits besides us. And then also free college. I would be really interested to see free college.
Yeah. All right. Are you on social media? And if so, how do you think that affects your view on politics?
I'm on any and all social media. I love social media. But I think it takes a really stupid person to be persuaded by just all the slop you see on Twitter. I think everybody should be well informed. I do not think that social media should be your main levy of information. Obviously, I mean, it'll affect how you see things when you see things. Everybody's For You pages pushing the full Necky essay and pushing the Charlie Kirk assassination and pushing Candace Owens' assumptions on the Charlie Kirk assassination. So it'll definitely affect what issues are on the forefront of your brain, but I don't think it really affects how I view political philosophy, I guess. I get more over all of my information from actually studying in AP Gov, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Awesome. All right. So we've already talked about some of your opinions on the two major political parties, but what are some things you can agree with each of them?
I think people are going to take this the wrong way, but I do think that we need to, on the right side of the thing, have harder immigration, just because, like, it really is personal bias, I suppose. because my family, I'm like third generation asphalt, and so all my family does is asphalt. My grandparents do asphalt. My dad does asphalt. I've done asphalt. We snowplow too. But down south, my great grandpa, because we've been doing it a long time, his business he had to shut down because they were losing so much business to people who use illegal immigrants to cut down labor, because you can't compete with it. My dad hires one guy for $23 an hour, and he gets just the one guy he can get, and they do work all day long. There would be dudes who have bigger pockets who are coming and hire like 4 immigrants for the price of the one guy. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, why are we undercutting American labor so badly? And then on the other side of the aisle, I do agree again with the free college, better health care, and free school lunch. I think free school lunch is really important because I know a lot of people who rely on those meals to eat, and it's like, I don't understand the obsession with trying to take and wrestle meals away from preschoolers. It's like, what are we doing as a country? Like, my tax dollars can go to funding transgender rats, but it can't go to funding children's food.
All right. Do you feel your upbringing and the people around you affect your current political views?
Well, I already touched on it, but yes, obviously, my mother is a Republican, my father is a liberal, so it's really a wild sort of, well, they're divorced now, so it's not anymore, but I was raised primarily by my mother, and so I grew up with, I told my whole 3rd grade class that my mom said that the king of Russia was going to bomb us if Hillary Clinton won. To give you an idea, and on my sister's 1st grade Star of the Week poster, which my mom wrote because my sister was in 1st grade, it was dislikes, war, bullies, Hillary Clinton, Obama. So that's the type of person my mother is. And then my father, he voted liberal, but he does have opinions that are all over the board. Like, he has a harder stance on immigration. And I'm not sure where he stands on abortion because it's like his trigger word, like we can't bring it up.
All right, thank you. Do you think that political alignment has become too central in how people identify themselves today?
I think it's always been like a central core value, but I think that people are too quick to be like, no, I can't be friends with you because your political ideology is different than my political ideology. It's like, what are we doing? It's like saying you're white and you can't be friends with black people. So I think that we really need to stop valuing it so much. I think everybody should have an opinion on politics. Everybody should be well informed on politics, but I don't think it should be making or breaking your friendships or your relationship with your family.
All right, thank you. Do you think the 2-party system is effective? And if not, how do you think we could work to change it?
I don't think the 2-party system is effective, but I don't think we can change it. I think we're so deep into being the USA and being Democrat versus Republican, I don't think there's any other way. Like, the Bull Moose Party was a very long time ago. And so I think really the solution that's realistic is finding out how we can make this work for us. Because nobody is just like one way or the other. There's so many little niche subcategories of people who believe certain things. That's why we have interest groups. In different packs, but I don't think that the 2-party system encompasses all American interests.
Yeah, there's definitely sort of offshoots to the 2 major political parties, like the democratic socialism we're seeing in New York, and I would argue that MAGA Republicans are different than traditional Republicans. So
yeah, I would agree.
We're definitely sort of making our way into the era of more offshoots into the 2 specific major political parties. How much should teens be thinking about politics, and is there really a way to avoid political discussions?
I don't think we should avoid political discussions. I think political discussions are nothing to be afraid of. Everybody's so afraid of it, and everybody's so afraid of offending each other, and oh no, I told Johnny that I'm a Democrat and he doesn't like me anymore. It just shouldn't be that deep. And I think teenagers should be thinking about politics a lot. Like, I'm kind of torn on this issue. I think I would support lowering the voting age to 16, because if you can already pay taxes, why can you not vote? I mean, it might mean detrimental things to our country because everybody gets their opinions from TikTok and spends their time vaping on geek bars in the bathroom. So is that the voter base we want? Unfortunately, it's the voter base we have.
All right. So, kind of going off that question, political discussions can be uncomfortable, and should this stop us from having them?
There are going to be a lot of times in life when people have to have uncomfortable discussions. So I think we just have to get over it. There are times in life where people you know are going to get divorced, or your parents are going to get divorced, or your grandma's going to die. Those are all uncomfortable discussions. It was an uncomfortable discussion when my great-grandma died, but we still had to have it. And I think that we still have to have these discussions to work towards a better tomorrow.
All right, thank you. How does the way political debates are presented on social media affect polarization, in your opinion?
It makes everything a lot bigger of a divide. So obviously, we live in a fractured America. We live in an America where polarization is taking reign in a lot of issues where it shouldn't. So much so that, like with the transgender bathroom issue, where people are getting mad at 9-year-olds they think are transgender, and then they're kicking different lesbians out of the bathroom because they look too manly. But I just think that, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I got off really off topic.
Yeah, no problem. Political discussions can be uncomfortable. Should this stop us from having them?
Right. Wasn't that the last question?
It's sort of related.
Fair. But yeah, we shouldn't stop having, we're gonna have to edit all of this out. This is terrible. I just completely bombed this.
We can just go to the next question and I'll edit that whole segment. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Do you see the effects of social media on politics on social media in your everyday life?
Yes, there is a lot of politics on social media. Like Twitter, you can scroll through Twitter and find all sorts of weird niche interest points about AIPAC and who assassinated Charlie Kirk, and is Candace Owens a black traitor, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Does Joe Biden have an auto pen and dementia? Does Trump have dementia? Does everybody have dementia? Really, why are there so many old people in office? This should be the central question. But I do think that politics are very, very prevalent on social media.
All right, thank you. I'm going to throw an extra question kind of relating to what you just said. Do you think there is room for younger people in politics? And if so, how can we sort of implement this new generation into our federal government?
I do think there's room. Obviously, because it's a dying breed right now, all you have to do to really break in is wait about 4 years. But besides that, it's really hard to get established. We need to help young people get established in their political careers, because it's so hard to do. I'm going to do 6 years of college and get my Juris Doctorate, and then I'm going to start some job I don't like for 10 years, and then I'm going to go into politics, and then maybe 30 years after that I can be president one day. It's like, why is it taking so long? Why can't we elevate more young people to the forefront? It's like, we haven't had a younger president than JFK, and he died in the 60s. Like, it's been 60 years, and we haven't had a president who's younger than 40 years old. So I think that the way that we can help include young people better would really just to elevate them into local politics. Like, I've thought about running for a local board or running for school board. And it's just about getting your name out there and getting support. And if we supported more young people pursuing politics, I think we could make way for more young people in politics.
Are there any specific young people in politics, federal or local, that you're, sort of watching the career of and are excited to see?
There are a lot of young people in politics who I'm not excited to see. There are some good intentions. I think there are some people even locally that are going some places. But as for young people I'm really excitedly watching, how young is Garland Gilchrist? I don't think he's that young.
It doesn't have to be too young. It's even just mid-20s or 30s, just, sort of people of the millennial or Gen Z generations.
I think Zohran Mamdani, while I don't really agree with all of his policies, I think that it's good that he's young and he's getting into government, and he's not that serious of government policy because it was or position, because he's just mayor, but he's mayor of New York. So.
All right. Sort of speaking of Mamdani and his campaign, we've seen that social media can be instrumental in affecting politics or winning campaigns. Do you think that that's bringing us into like the new age of campaigning?
Unfortunately. I think we're in the age where everything has to be cute and editable, and whoever has the best TikTok edit done by a 13-year-old might just win, because those things reach so many people. And also, we're in this age of where social media is letting us be more and more vulgar and letting us be more and more unkind to the people around us. Like, if you look at the 2008 and the 2012 debates versus 2016 versus 2020 versus 2024, let's notice how these correlate, how it gets more televised and it gets clipped more on social media, and it encourages people to be more and more out of pocket. Like, even with, because obviously Donald Trump is out of pocket, and he's always out of pocket, and I don't know why they let him say the things they let him say, because it's just completely unprofessional. But at the same time, Kamala Harris trying to hit a quippy social media post by being like, I'm speaking. It's like or playing into the coconut tree thing. It's like, why is all of our campaigning right now done based on memes and done based off of quippy social media posts? Why can I not see, like, why are we not campaigning on policy? Why are we just campaigning on niche social issues like Kamala's for they, them, Trump is for you? Trump's not for anybody. Nobody's for anybody. Policy is for you.
Wonderful. All right, we're going to end with another sort of icebreaker question, but this time it's going to be a little more of a high note. Who is your political role model that is not a president?
Not a president? That is also a hard one. I have a lot of people I like. It's hard for me to have role models because I think I'm so great. But I really do like, I think role model for me is based more on just singular actions of things I'd like to emulate. Like, I'd like to be able to have great leadership skills like Alexander the Great, and I'd like to be able to stand up to people when I think they're wrong, like so many people in the Republican Party have to Trump. And I'd just like to be able to emulate all of those things that I see into reality. Like, I'd like to just be able to be the best me.
All right, thank you. That's it for today. Thank you for coming on the show. Kenneth, everyone.